Alright, guys, we're back. Let's continue. Loving Tyrell, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I didn't stream much last month. I had a lot of missions. Mostly NDA as well. Colas Art, dank voor de pollen. El Chupacca, thanks for the follow. Hey, mental coin flip, what's up? A 42. A tribal leader, kind of, yeah. Just adding more concept to the White Witch comic. So for now, it's mostly just random sketches. And then I will take the ideas that I like and refine the concepts. Yeah, this is for the White Witch comic. So these are from yesterday's stream. Do you write something like a Bible for the world building, or do you mainly draw stuff? Yeah, I have a lot of things written, and now I'm working with a writer to develop the story. We're almost done with the world building, and actually we're like halfway through with the first issue. So the script is almost there. I love world building. It's not always fun in the general sense of the word. By itself, it's not productive, but I still have to make something out of it. I mean, yeah, it is fun. It is the most fun part. I mean, it's much easier to just write ideas rather than drawing them. It is the cheapest option. What do you mean it hasn't solved any problem? Because I write in a foreign language, my English isn't satisfyingly good for me to produce decent prose. Yeah, but why does it have to be in English? Because Russian is a dying language? Really? There isn't the same audience compared to English? Okay. But it's not one of the top languages, you mean? People don't read quite as much and don't write nearly as much. You mean most Russians speak English? I will find that very hard to believe. Isn't support quiz as well? The younger generation do at least understand some English. Okay. Russian is a very difficult language to master for writing. Okay. I still don't see the problem. Yeah, I think it's your own laziness, man. Wait, take what exactly? My tablet? Okay, I see. Copying Pokemon cards? Some parent got concerned and forbid me to buy the collect the stickers. I have a question about character thumbnails. At what point do you stop adding details to the inside of the silhouette? I guess it depends on the project. So for those, I'm just looking for the general idea. I don't care really about the details of the, let's say, the headpiece she's wearing. I don't like really care about the details inside. The overall shape is what I'm aiming for. Something that I would probably pick up in the future, and then I will add the details and try and see what fits. So it depends on, I think, the stage. So for thumbnails, it's just like you're focusing on the silhouette and the shape language. That's it. There's no need to waste your time with the details. Where do I get the inspiration? I have a mood board for this project. So I have that open on the other monitor with some other stuff as well. Plus I have the story. The word is almost flushed out, so I know that the type of technology used, type of magic used. So trying to work within the allowed parameters, kinda, of the story. But for those, these are just like concepts to explore ideas. Because I used to do a lot of these years ago. They were pretty successful concepts, so now I'm trying to go back to the same how long does it usually take you to make a mood board? From 1 hour, between 1 to 2 hours. just on Pinterest, so I just collect stuff. Depending on the different aspects of the artwork. And then I throw everything on PureRef and have them kind of separated between like the different topics. And then I'll save the file. Especially for bigger projects, so I don't have to repeat that again. And whenever I have to work on the project, I'll just open that file of PureRef and go through the artworks or like the references. Someone can only accept that as a fact of reality and don't hold that against them too much. Yeah, I agree. Get my reference in like a million folders. No, I'm not talking about like the stuff you usually collect. It's like the project specific. Usually I have a couple of folders as well for each project. Oh yeah, you're right. It's like you can see the teeth. How does it take you to finish a piece, like from sketch to color? It depends on the style. Ink, ink to color is easy. I can finish that in like a day or two. Inking takes a day, and then coloring takes a couple of hours. But if I want to render a piece, that's gonna take some time. I was working on another DC cover. It took me a couple of days to render. Doing the color study was easy, but then yeah, going over all the details like took me a lot of time. But the general rule is nothing should take you more than 2 weeks. So no matter how hard is the artwork, 2 weeks is the max. Not counting the feedback, you still need usually the client takes a couple of days to get back to you, so I'm not counting that time. 7 years to finish a piece. Yeah, I don't think a client is gonna wait 7 years. Hey, you got some games now, 10 years in the work, no? Avowed took 6 years to finish. It's like an industry standard rule. Not really. But I mean, you want to make money, right? At the end of the day. So you don't want to spend 2 months on one piece. 2 weeks is the standard among concept artists and illustrators. At least like keep that in mind when you're working so you can measure your speed. I didn't make up the number. I actually heard it from what's his name? Muchek Kujara. He's the concept artist for Ghost in the Shell, the live action. I think it's one of his podcasts. He mentioned the number, and I think it's pretty accurate. Like if you can't finish in 2 weeks, then you're probably doing something wrong. You need to learn maybe photo bashing, you need to learn 3D, but yeah, there are like ways around it. So maybe like pure painting, if you want to like paint every pixel, yeah, it might take you more. But yeah, you need to learn all the tricks. Is freelancing hard? I think at the start, yes. Especially if you don't have money. But eventually it gets easier. Once you have like your established style. And you kind of like you have to understand that it's not just doing the art side of the business, but actually dealing with clients, communicating emails, meetings, knowing how to price, signing contracts, and so on. So there's a lot more stuff to it. Eventually it gets like a more standard. Like at the beginning, honestly, at the beginning the hardest part was pricing. My dad helped me a lot with that. Although I think looking back at it now, I think he was like way over for what do you call it, overpricing kind of. Like I was just starting and he would like tell me to reject the project because they're not paying enough. But looking back at like my skill at that time, I think it was like a fair price. But yeah, like knowing how to price, which project to take, which project to reject. You need to be able to say no as well. But now it's a lot easier. Like my style is pretty much established. The clients who reach out to me are looking for that exact style. All the projects I get are from good clients. I worked with them before. Everyone is professional. Unlike years ago, like you had to deal with a lot of shady stuff, people who won't pay. You have clients who would pay only like down payment and then they will ghost you. So there's a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I had one client who threatened to deport me outside the country because he thought that he didn't want to pay the rest of the payment. So yeah, you got some crazy stuff, man. How do you deal with the ghosting? How do I deal with the ghosting? Last time, I just shared. So it was like an NDA thing. So they didn't pay the rest of the money. So I just shared the Photoshop file and made it available for everyone to download and print. And they go to the blacklist. I mean, it's their loss at the end of the day. And it depends on the amount of money. So if it's a lot, then yeah, maybe I'll worry about it. But if it's not that much, then I think the amount of time I would spend following the money is not really worth it, because I can make that back. But I'd probably like just bother them with emails from time to time. I think one of the studios I made covers for, they didn't pay, and that went like for at least 2 years. I even forgot about it, and then they reached out for something else and they were forced to pay. I was like, hey, pay for the first job first. So they paid me for the first job so I can take the second one. But you start to kind of recognize some patterns, like when you're like talking to clients, you would know if someone worked before, understands what's happening. So yeah, there's a lot of things to learn along the way. So it's a common thing for clients not to pay? Not really, no. It's very rare nowadays. I mean, especially now, like I take 50% down payment from like new clients, and I only send them the Photoshop file once the payment is done, like the second payment. But yeah, for old clients, I don't mind. I mean, there's no need for 50%. I know that they're gonna pay. There's another thing that when you're working with big studios, they have a 1 month, what do you call it? Like, they pay you within a month. So that's standard as well. At the beginning, when I was starting, I didn't understand that. So there was a lot of like back and forth because I didn't want to work on something without a down payment. I was like really paranoid back then. But now it's fine, like it's standard. They will pay you after a month. But that's also part of the job, so you have to keep track of all the payments pending, and you need to follow up with all the clients. And you get 50% upfront and deliver the file once they give you the other half. Yes, correct. How come they didn't pay the first time? Did they make a mistake? No, it's they're a big studio, so they pay you after a month, and then I don't have no idea what happened. They kept delaying, and then they kind of like ghosted. And then they announced bankruptcy, kind of, and then they came back. I have no idea, like someone probably bought the studio, but yeah. Anyway, I got my money at the end. On some other studios, they asked me for like an hourly rate, so that's another thing you need to work on. So calculate how much you want to make per hour, and then you need to keep track of the time spent on the project. The problem is I'm pretty fast, so it is a little bit tricky calculating hourly rate, which means that I'm kind of losing money unless like I double or triple the hourly rate. So yeah, it's always like that. Every project is different. What else? I try to keep the client always in the loop. So whenever I have an update, I send it to the client, make sure they understand. I used to be really paranoid before. Like I would have a big list of rules for the client to go over. Like the number of revisions they can ask for, and how much it's gonna cost if they ask more than that, and all kind of rules. Now it's really relaxed. Like I don't mind the client can ask for changes. If they overdo it, like if I feel like they're just asking for too much, I would like mention it. But if it's hourly rate, I don't mind. They can just keep changing forever, as long as they pay. Yeah, as long as you keep your clients updated daily or like every 2 days. Like don't just disappear and come back with like a colored artwork. So I send them the sketches, I send them color studies. I make sure that they see exactly where the artwork is going, and I will tell them like this is how it's gonna look at the end. Like there are no surprises, there's no magic. So once they give me the okay, that's it. I just finalize and I still remember I was like fresh out of college, and I was working with my friends. We had somewhat like a big project with like very big TV. Was it TV? It was a big studio, and I think they were like taking advantage of us because we didn't know how the system works. So I asked them for a down payment, they said yes. So I started working because they insisted that the work should start today. They had like a very strict deadline. So we started working and they kept delaying the down payment. Eventually I understood that they don't have a down payment system, like they can't pay it. Big studios don't pay down payments, so the contract was like a simple one. It's like, okay, we'll pay you after a month. But back then we were literally starving. It's like, if you don't pay us today, we will not eat tomorrow. So I had to like send her an email, like the director there. Told her I'm not gonna touch Photoshop unless I see the money. And they were like also like, that project wasn't for them, it was like for another big client. Maybe it was for Toyota or something. So I think it was like a bad move from my side, but they promised me a down payment. They could have told me the truth. So yeah, I remember now, like we had a meeting where she gave me the check for the down payment, and she told me that we are placed on the blacklist for the studio, like they will never deal with us again. Although we did like a good job, submitted the work on time. Sleeping, what's up? I mean, it is a standard practice, like I understand now, but back then they thought they could just tell us whatever and expect us to keep working. You tired or just got up? I'm tired. I am tired. I think this is the last sketch. Any other questions regarding freelancing? I think one downside for freelancing is that, which I realized a little bit late, is that I don't have any experience working with others in the same studio. Like I can work online, not an issue. But for example, applying for a studio to do like an if I want like a full-time job now, no studio will take me. I don't have the experience. I am a student at the moment and nowhere near entering the market still, but it's a good to know. Yeah, man. I mean, once, like if you start freelancing and you, on the side you work on your own things, that's kind of total freedom. I mean, kind of like that's the goal, unless you enjoy the 8 to 5 thingy. If they don't pay, do you keep your work as intellectual property for future projects if they don't pay. They don't pay. I guess it depends on the damage. Sometimes it could be really damaging, so I will just accept that I'm not gonna get paid and move on. Because you have to understand as well, other studios will look at that and take it in a negative way. Like, try to not trash studios if they don't like treat you well. Like, it is what it is, move on. Wouldn't a way to enter the market for full-time employment via a launch project? Would it take part of in a major way? Wouldn't a way to enter the market? I don't understand. What do you mean? I mean, I had an offer for a full-time job 2 years ago, but yeah, visa didn't work out. So if that were if they gave me the visa, then yeah, I'll probably be like a full-time now. I would have to wake up in the morning. Can you imagine? Oh, let's add the almost forgot. Almost forgot. Let's add halftone. I meant in regards, you said for yourself it is hard to go corporal. You were more accustomed to freelance work, working publishing a project. One would give credits to being experienced in working a pipeline or project. Yeah, true. I agree. I agree, yeah. Uriol San, thanks for the follow. And maybe another aspect for freelancing is you need a little bit of fuck you money. So you need to save just a little bit. So that will allow you to say no. Sometimes even the project might be good, but if it's not aligned with your portfolio, you might need to say no. Or if the client is being a dick, then you can just say no and move on. But if you really need the money, then yeah, you have to suffer a little bit at the beginning. I still remember there was one project. I was doing a cover for a graphic novel, and the client wanted me to trace someone else's work pixel by pixel. I was shocked. I didn't believe that such thing exists still. So yeah, I said no and moved. Didn't get paid for that, but I was like, I don't want to see that client again. Playlist, we're listening to Queens of Stone Age, just random shuffle. They asked you to do that. Yeah, I was shocked because the client. So I did a meeting with the client. He showed me what he wants, and then he showed me an artwork. He said, "I want something similar." So I was like, "Okay, I'll do something similar," and I believe I did something even better than the original artwork. And with every meeting, he was like, "Can you make the face a little bit similar?" Although like the face was like kind of cursed from like the original artwork, but I have no idea why he loved that. So by the third meeting, he's like, "Can you trace it? Like trace everything, just change the colors after." And it's not like an obscure artwork like from a nobody. It was actually quite known, like I've seen it a couple of times before. I don't remember the name of the artist, but like it's not that hard to find. If you go to Pinterest, search for something similar, you probably come up. I was like, what the fuck? He actually like copied the artwork himself. Like he cut the artwork, put it on my cover. He was like, can you do that cleaner? It's like, what the fuck, man? Hey, Frosty. They were basically asking you to help them in ripping off someone else. Yeah, I was like, why don't you commission the guy? Commission that artist. Don't commission him. Even better. Buy the rights for that artwork. Tell him I want to use it for this piece. I think they will accept. It was really weird. I told my agent like I don't want to see that client again ever. Blue orange or green banana? There is a green banana, no? What do you suggest for people who want to do complicated designs but are afraid not to copy somebody else's design? I mean, don't copy someone else's design. As simple as that. There are ways, I mean, you can probably try to mimic the same design language, shapes, but yeah, don't copy it. You should be able to at least create something within the same word without copying that. I mean, you will get a lot of that from clients. They will send you artworks and they'll tell you we need something similar. So you need to have that ability, like look at the artwork, understand the core design aspects, and then try to come up with something similar. Alright guys, I guess this is it for today. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll do more sketches. I have one commission that I can stream, so I might do that tomorrow. If you I think it would be fun. Let me show you what I have. So I'm doing posters for a movie. So I did these so far. I will have to do a little bit more. I'll adjust some stuff before like submitting. Yeah. So I have these 3 so far. And I sent these to the client and he picked number 2. So probably I'll work on this tomorrow. I'll finish inking and yeah, do the colors. We're going to start using AI as a tool at some point. There are some cool aspects, 100%. It is integrated with Photoshop anyway. They have a strange Frankfurter vibe to them. That's pretty cool, yeah. And I have, I think you've seen this. I shared the post on my... So this is the movie poster. Do you have any advice to get commissions? Yeah, you have to be good. Get good. Your portfolio should be solid. Yeah, this is the movie poster. I did it. I think this is pretty cool. I'm proud of this one. For this one, I'm gonna make the head a little bit bigger. And for this one, I think I'm gonna just re-ink the head. And maybe add some stuff in here in the back. Maybe some smoke. Amazing waifu. Holy shit. Welcome back. Been a long time. Came back from the dead? Yes. How have you been? So once your portfolio is solid, to get commissions, I would suggest go to ArtStation. You can see the job section there. Contact everyone, even if the job doesn't fully fit, like the description doesn't fit your portfolio. Send them an email anyway. Try to tailor your portfolio towards studios that you want to work with. For example, if you want to work with Grinding Gears game, try to design stuff similar to what they have for Path of Exile. Like the art director should look at your portfolio and then should immediately say like, yeah, we can get this guy to work on our project. Been pretty well trying to get more followers on TikTok. How is TikTok? ArtStation is banned in my country. Where do you live? It's always the blue girls. Let me show you what else I have. I can't show you the DC stuff. That's under NDA. I can show you this one here. I was doing concept art for Double Edge. The 3D work is pretty cool. So this is the last one I did. So now they're gonna make her make the 3D model for her. Malaysia, they don't want artists to make a living there. I mean, if you can get around it with VPN, that works, sure. Because honestly, like, ArtStation is the maybe the only website where you can get like the latest. Most art directors are there. Most studios are there, so. There are other websites where they have posting for like game related jobs, but ArtStation is like the most reliable. What else? I finished this one as well. There's another one I need to do, so probably we'll see when I can start. Maybe next week. Yeah, so tomorrow maybe I'll work on this one on stream. All right, let's use online. We can raid Maya. Okay, let's do that. She's painting a miniature. Alright guys, enjoy the raid, thanks for watching, and we'll continue tomorrow. Work on something else.